Hey y'all, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's. We're gonna do something a little bit different from what I've been doing the past couple of weeks. I really wanted to give y'all an opportunity to kind of do a little stream of consciousness on specifically on soulmates because this year is one of the biggest years for soulmates, especially if you are a spiritual being, and that's low key a trick statement. But anyway. So a lot of people are going to be attracting their soulmates, and I'm talking like your lifelong soulmate, okay? Not the person who's here to teach you a lesson or give you that life lesson on how to do this, this, and this, or how to be a certain way, or how to truly love yourself. I'm talking like true love. A lot of people are going to be receiving that this year, and even kind of into the summer of next year too. Okay. So I wanted to have this, like, give you guys an opportunity to really kind of dive deep into, the questions you should ask yourself when your soulmate appears in your life, and also some of the kind of like stream of consciousness questions that you guys should be asking to ensure, and kind of not to ensure, but to kind of double check that the person that you have met in that moment is in fact your lifelong soulmate. There's a couple of questions we're going to ask during this. I don't know how long this is going to go. I just have the questions, and for each question, I'm going to set a timer for 6 minutes, and actually we'll do 7 minutes. 7 minutes. But if you guys need more time than that, obviously you guys have way more time than that, okay? But I want to give y'all this because this is one thing that I wish I had in my previous relationships. I'm going through, or I guess at this point, I'm kind of done with my Saturn return, which was in the house of relationships. So I really had to do a lot of reflection around relationships, how I've chosen a partner in the past. The not even like how I've chosen partners in the past, but like the fact that, I would choose them out of lack instead of from a place of abundance, right? And that's where you really want to be. You want to start choosing your partners and attracting your partners from a place of abundance, not from a place of lack and insecurity and doubt. And so I had to do a lot of work on that. And so today I want to give you guys some of the questions that I found to be super important when it comes to meeting your soulmate, okay? And recognizing when that person is for you. Now, I know I'm talking to a lot of spiritual beings out here. So I know for some of y'all, it's going to be super intuitive. It's going to be kind of instant, right? But I still want y'all to ask these questions to kind of double check, because one thing that I found in the past is that in the times where I guess I thought I met my soulmate, I had mistaken kind of I don't even want to say infatuation. I had mistaken, I don't know, kind of surface level information for depth, if that makes sense, right? So that's the other thing I want y'all to kind of take away from this, is that I want you to really deeply know the person who, you believe is going to be your soulmate or your life partner, okay? Don't assume they're your life partner and you just met them on the surface, okay? There's always a depth to these kind of relationships, especially if they're lifelong. These are very, very deep contractual relationships. And so they need to be, it's not that they need to be based, they are based in faith, in the universe, in source, and God, in that level of depth, right? If you just know somebody on the surface and you're like, oh well, that's it, that's my soulmate. That might not be it. That might not be it. It might just be another lesson. So I really wanted to kind of emphasize that to y'all, because that's going to be a big aspect of getting, not even getting, but receiving your lifelong soulmate. Okay. So how am I going to do this? Because I have all my little questions here in a inconvenient place on my computer screen. So we're going to go ahead and put it in a convenient place on my computer screen. Okay, great. And okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the timer, which I hope y'all can hear. We're going to go ahead and start the timer together. And again, this is for those of you, and even if you haven't met your soulmate yet, this is going to help you prepare to receive that lifelong partner if you choose to have one, okay? You don't have to. Some people come to this earth to not experience that and just experience multiple partners, and that's okay. But if you're one of those people who is like, no, I'm here to serve a purpose, fulfill a purpose, and it has to be with my significant other, then this is for you. Okay. And so, again, even if you haven't met your soulmate yet, that's okay. This is going to help you in the long run, and it's going to help you prepare to receive your soulmate. Okay. So the first question, let me get my little timer out. So I'm setting the timer for 7 minutes. Okay. Sorry, the screen is kind of nasty, but 7 minutes. I feel like that's too long, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Some of y'all might need more than 7 minutes, so go ahead and do that. But let's go ahead and go to the first. So the first question is, am I repeating any patterns from past relationships? Okay. That's the first one. Let's go ahead and start. And for this one, really like allow for your stream of consciousness to just flow. And for this question, it's like kind of look at if there are any patterns occurring from past relationships and what they're about, and try to get to the like source of them. Okay. So again, that's just kind of guiding you to answer this question. Please make sure to, let go. I'm even going to restart this timer. Just let go and allow for a stream of consciousness. Okay. So, and actually we're going to change this real quick. So are there any repeating patterns? Are there any repeating patterns from past relationships occurring? Okay. So 7 minutes, let's start. One more minute. Okay. Let me just write this down. Okay, great. Okay, so that was the first one. Again, the question was, are there any repeating patterns from past relationships occurring? Um, and so even if you haven't met your soulmate yet, right? If you're answering this question, I want y'all to focus on on the fact that, when you meet your potential soulmate, um certain patterns that have happened in the past in your past relationships won't happen again. Okay. And again, part of this is recognizing what those relationships are, and also doing the work that you need to do, right? Because if you are experiencing the same thing over and over and over again, attracting the same people, it's not their fault. At some point, you got to recognize, okay, I'm doing something wrong. Let me pause and reflect. Okay, so you need to make sure to do that work. Okay, you can journal for a little bit and really journal on, this is what happened in the past. Um, so, for example, if you have been attracting toxic people in your life, right? You need to pause. You can pause this video if you want, but pause for a second. Reflect on every single past relationship, okay? Reflect on how you chose to be with that person. Find the similarities, okay? Start to observe. Try to observe from a detached perspective, right? And just see what was going on and how you're interacting with these people so that you can get a clear understanding of what decisions you made to continuously be in those patterns, okay? And a lot of the times, to get out of those patterns, it takes practice. So you need to practice kind of learning how to better assess if a person is going to be not toxic. Then you need to start to do that. You need to practice a little bit, maybe go on a few dates before you meet your soulmate, just to see if you can have, like, not a better gauge, but just to test if you are truly out of the past patterns and the past, like, cycles that you've been in before. Okay. um it'll really help you just get clear on if your mind has truly changed around those cycles. Okay, so for a lot of y'all, this is going to happen too. It's the other thing people don't talk about. When you're about to meet your soulmate, you're going to get tested. And I'm talking about your wrong soulmate. Tested. Okay. So keep that in mind, okay? Maybe a couple months before, maybe 6 months before, you're gonna be tested. So keep that in mind. Make sure you pass the test, okay? And okay, I'm gonna give y'all a little piece of advice. One of my friends who are married told me the best test to know if somebody is for you is to wait. I'm not even joking. This is and he's not even like religious like that. He ain't even religious, but he said that's the best test. If you are, especially if you're a woman, if you really want to test if he is for you, okay, or that partner is for you, make him wait. Okay. And that's he said that's the best way. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the second. Ooh, girl, it's already at 16 minutes. It's gonna be a long one. Okay, so let's get into the second. And I hope y'all can hear me. It's I ain't gonna worry about it. Okay, so let's do the second question. So the second one is where is the uncertainty coming from? Okay, so this is for those of y'all who are experiencing doubts. Okay, maybe you passed the test, maybe you didn't, but you think you found your soulmate. And I don't even want to say you think, you feel, right? Because it's a feeling Um, you feel, and then there's a knowing to it also. You feel you found your soulmate, but be careful with the feelings too. And this is for my water signs, okay? Be careful with the feelings. Okay, this is for my water signs and then my Libras, y'all too. Be careful with the feeling. I think for y'all, maybe the feeling isn't really gonna uh it'll help you, but don't rely on it fully, right? Rely on the knowing. The knowing is when it comes from the heart and the head. You just know, right? It's in alignment. That's what I want y'all to rely on. Okay, that intuition. Yeah, sorry, excuse me. Do not rely on that feeling. I tried that. It it's not correct. It's just not correct. So where is the uncertainty coming from? Is it my gut or my intuition? So if you're experiencing doubts, is it your gut or your intuition? Okay, so you met your person. Where is the uncertainty coming from? If you have doubts about this person, you have doubts about being with this person, figure out where it is coming from. Okay, so where is this coming from? So for example, you met your soulmate and you're not sure. I don't know, maybe for some of y'all it's going to be like it's too good to be true. You're like, no, this isn't it, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I manifested it. Yes, I did. It's crazy too. Yes, I did a manifesting ceremony about this. Yes, I intended for this to happen. Yes, was in the energy as if I deserved it. But I'm still having doubts. Okay, maybe that's some of you. Um, y'all need to investigate where this is coming from. So we're going to do that right now for 7 minutes. Where is this doubt or uncertainty coming from? Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to start my little timer for 7 minutes because 7 is the number of heaven. Oh, well, we're past 7. So let's get into it. 1 minute left. Okay. Okay, so that is it for the second one. These are a little long, but I'm gonna stick with y'all. I'm gonna stick with y'all on this. Okay, 7 is heavy. So that was question number 2. Where is the uncertainty coming from? This is for those of y'all who are having a little bit of doubts. Okay, figure out where it's coming from. And I want to remind y'all too, if you have done the work, okay, and doubt is still coming up, you need to tell yourself, tell your ego, we went through this. We did the work to uncover and see where the doubt is coming from. Remind yourself who you are, remind yourself the work that you've done, and remind yourself the person who you are to be in this moment. Okay, that's it. Okay, so 3. The 3 is, this is a big one. You're gonna reflect. So again, this is if you have, I'm gonna say this too. This is if you have already met your soulmate, or you think you met your soulmate. Okay. And for those of y'all who haven't met your soulmate yet but are doing this, we're gonna flip it. So sorry, so number 3, I'm gonna get ahead myself as usual. Is the relationship harmonious? Is there any friction at all? If so, what is it? Okay. So for those of you who haven't met your soulmate yet, you can just write about how you want that relationship to be harmonious. If you have met your soulmate and it is harmonious, I want you to just write stream of consciousness. Write about the harmony of the relationship first, okay? Then maybe halfway through, I'll give you all the timer mark. I want y'all to kind of see if there's any friction that has come up. And if there is none, that's great. Continue to write about the harmony, okay? Focus on the harmony, focus on the effects that you want more of in that relationship. But if there's any friction, I want you to look into it, right? Because especially with the friction, there's 2 things that might happen. Either, like if it's a friction that just affects you, like it's like something that you specifically are annoyed by, you have to do some deep diving in that for yourself. Okay. Now, if it's something that maybe, I don't want to say your friend, but if you were to ask 9 people and all 9 said, yeah, no, that's a red flag. Okay, then that's something different, right? um, but you want to just take note of it, because again, if this is your lifelong partner, you really want to make sure that if there is some friction, and you have to make sure that it's not coming from you. If it's coming from the other person, it needs to be something that you are ready to take care of, or you're ready to kind of be that either emotional or physical support, depending on masculine or feminine, but you're ready to give that support to the other person. Okay. Friction is fine. I think every couple has some kind of friction. They have some kind of like, especially in the first year, and then I feel like the winter season, I'm sure there's friction. But I want y'all to recognize that that's healthy, it's fine, but you want to make sure that it's something that you can deal with. It's something that you can support the other person with, and you can support them kind of growing out of that friction.